The state is moving ahead with pulling up the railroad tracks between Tupper Lake and Lake Placid, the 34 miles there, and creating that multi-use recreation trail after taking care of a few legal issues. That is moving ahead, and do you think that's going to be a better alternative that will draw in and interest more people than the railroad excursions that have been going on for the past few years?
I would say that the plan we have right out there right now is a game changer for the region. It takes the 34 miles of former track, makes it into this world-class trail between Lake Placid and Tupper, and you have Saranac right in the middle. I think it's going to be heavily used. Anywhere you see these kinds of trails used in places like the Adirondacks, mountainous areas, you see they become very popular. They're hugely attractive to the communities. You see lots of traffic coming in, people pedaling through, spending lots of money, staying at places, making excursions out of them. And then Tupper Lake becomes a terminus for that, and you take a dilapidated section of rail that runs all the way to Big Moose and obviously Utica beyond. You upgrade that so you can bring tourists effectively all the way into the Adirondacks by rail. You stop them at Tupper, give them a chance to either bike all the way to Lake Placid or take a shuttle service into Saranac or Lake Placid. This grand kind of deal that we all worked on so hard together starting back in 2013, which is now becoming a reality, I think is going to be a boon to this area. It's going to drive the right kind of tourism to more hamlets and give us a chance to showcase this beautiful region.
Do you see the tracks coming up as soon as this spring?
I see, assuming we get through all the various final processes at the Adirondack Park Agency and publicly, I see some track removal happening this summer.
No word if there may be a legal challenge still?
I haven't heard about a legal challenge. We've worked really hard with all sides to make everyone a winner in this. Even the train company, the train advocates, now I think see a future where the state's standing behind them to get people up to Tupper, to get people from the terminus to other locations in the region. We've addressed all the legal issues raised in the first set of litigation, and now we have a winning formula for spending state money for a really good cause that will generate lots of economic activity. And I would be shocked to see it stopped again for no good reason.
And last question. The survey out says fishing, very popular here in the Adirondacks, especially the Saranac River.
Yes.
Lake Champlain to a certain degree, but over the past 10 years, 150% increase in fishing on the Saranac River, smallmouth bass for brown trout, salmon, obviously very popular. Was that a surprise to see how much popularity has increased for fishing on the Saranac?
It wasn't so much of a surprise because our staff see it every day. I mean, we're tracking the licensed sales all across the state. We know where the tournaments are. We sort of have the anecdotal information that fishing is really booming in New York. This is a statewide boom. Bassmaster just ranked the St. Lawrence as the number one largemouth bass fishing in the U.S. We have, we're in the top 5 of almost all of these different categories. Now this 10-year survey that we did, which culminated at the end of 2018, took 2000 and compared it to 2007 numbers, and we see this huge spike. I think it is validating the work that we've put into this I Fish New York campaign. The governor's, again, hatchery restoration work, promoting the outdoors, doing challenges around the state, Bassmaster challenges, doing the various fishing tournaments that we've supported, putting money into access to the outdoors, right? Stuff that the state was really never doing. They were just buying land and kind of setting it aside. We bought land, and at the right spaces, create access points. It's a critical industry, $2.1 billion in New York State. The fact that it's so popular right here, these massive increases on Lake Champlain and the Saranac, it's great for the North Country because people think about Champlain and they think it's a beautiful lake, maybe lots of different uses, and now they know that it's got this incredible fishery, and we begin attracting worldwide attention to it this year. And
you talk about access and keeping an eye on the health of the river. For the Saranac, there's the issue of the dams. There's the Imperial Dam that activists, advocates, Trout Unlimited, been trying to remove for more than a decade. Does this survey point to maybe the state doing more to help make that a reality, either removing the dam or retrofitting it so that more fish can get upriver to spawn?
It certainly validates it, right? And when when you have a chance to take something down or find a better way through, it's a good investment of the state's resources, particularly when you have this kind of economic data then validating that work. So yeah, I mean that's one of the places where I'm looking to change the configuration of that dam at a bare minimum to get fish passage in place, whether it's a removal or fish passage. I think it's going to be a winner for the North Country.